अरे हम सोच रहे थे अब काम करें, हम थोड़ी रिकॉर्डिंग करने जा रहे थे इस चीज की। Good morning, students. Today I take a lecture on gear and gear train, presented by Kuldeep Kumar. And these are the outlines of the lecture: gears and classification, gear train, and types of gear train. So, firstly, we know about the gear. Basically, gear is a device which are used for transmission of motion or power between two shafts. The effect of flipping is to reduce the velocity ratio of the system. So it is known as gear. After that, we discuss about the advantage and disadvantage of the gear. So first advantage is it transmit exact velocity ratio because reduce the effect of flipping in case of belt and pulley. And second one is it may be used to transmit large power. Third, it has high efficiency and has reliable service. And next one is has compact layout. So these are the advantage of gear. After that, we discuss about the disadvantage of gear. The manufacturing of gears require special tool and equipment. So if the special tool and equipments are required, then definitely skilled or semi-skilled labor are required for operating these systems. And second one is the error in cutting teeth may cause noise and vibration. So these are the disadvantage of gear. So next one is classification of tooth wheel. So first one is according to position of axis of shaft. Second one is according to peripheral velocity of gears. And next one is according to the arrangement of the gearing. So according to position of axis of shaft, the gears are further classified as parallel, intersecting, and non-intersecting non-parallel shaft. So these gears are called spur gear, and the arrangement is also known as spur gearing when the teeth are parallel to axis of the shaft. And another name is spur gearing is helical gearing, but there are difference between spur gearing and helical gearing is that there are difference of arrangement of teeth. So in case of helical gearing, the teeth are inclined to axis of the shaft. The double helical gears are also known as herringbone gear. And next one is the two non-parallel and intersecting but coplanar shaft connected by gear, which are known as bevel gear, and arrangement is known as bevel gearing. So according to position of the shaft, it is the gear. And second one is according to peripheral velocity of the gears. So it is further classified as low velocity gear, medium velocity gear, and high velocity gear. If the speed of gear is less than 3 meter per second, then it is known as low velocity gear. If the speed or velocity of the gear is between 3 to 15 meter per second, then it is known as medium velocity gear. After that, in case of high velocity gear or high speed gear, the speed is about or greater than 15 meter per second. And after that, we describe according to the arrangement of the gearing, that is external gearing and internal gearing. In case of external gearing, the gears of the two shafts mesh externally, and larger of these two wheels are known as spur wheel and smaller wheel is known as pinion. In case of external gearing, the motion of the two wheels is always unlike or in opposite direction. But in case of internal gearing, the gears of two shafts mesh internally with each other. The larger of these two wheels is known as annular wheel and the smaller one is known as pinion. But in case of internal gearing, the motion of two wheels is always like or in same direction. So these are the figures of some gears, that is spur gear. You can see from the diagram that in case of spur gearing, the teeth are parallel to axis of the shaft. But in case of helical gear, the teeth are inclined to axis of the shaft. And this is the bevel gear. After that, we know that about the gear train. When the two or more gears are made to mesh with each other to transmit power from one shaft to the another shaft, such a combination is known as gear train. It reduces speed and increase the torque, and electric motors are used with gear system to reduce the speed and increase the torque. So next one is types of gear train. Basically, gear trains are divided into four parts. First one is simple gear train, compound gear train, reverted gear train, and epicyclic gear train. So first we discuss about the simple gear train. When there is only one gear on each shaft, then it is known as simple gear train. The gears are represented by their pitch circle. So you can see from these diagrams that there are three gears, there are four gears, and it is two gears. And one gears contain on each shaft. So these are the calculation for the speed ratio. If N1 is the speed of gear 1 and N2 is the speed of gear 2, and there are T1 is the number of teeth on gear 1 and T2 is the number of teeth on gear 2. So the speed ratio is N1 by N2 is equal to T2 by T1. There are a important value, that is train value. So the train value and speed ratio is inversely proportional. If the speed ratio N1 by N2 is equal to T2 by T1, then definitely the train value is N2 by N1 is equal to T2 by T1. So this is the simple diagram of simple gear train. Next one is compound gear train. When there are more than one gear on a shaft, then it is known as compound gear train. So you can see from the diagram that the shaft B contains two gears, that is 2 and 3, and shaft C that contains two gears, that is 4 and 5. So these are the compound gear train. So you can see from this diagram that compound gears on one shaft there are two gears are attached, and this is the output gear. Next one is reverted gear train. So when the axis of the first gear and the last gear are coaxial, then the gear train is known as reverted gear train. So you can see from the diagram that the it is the gear 2 and 3 form a compound gear, but the gear 1 and gear 4 are coaxial, but there are different shafts, that is 1 and 4, but these gears are coaxial. So it is known as reverted gear train. And next one is epicyclic gear train. If the arm is fixed and the gear train is simple and gear A can drive gear B or vice versa, but if a gear A is fixed and the arm is rotated about the axis of gear A, then the gear V is forced to rotate upon around gear A. Such a motion called epicyclic, and gear trains arrange in such a manner that one or more gears member move upon around another member are known as epicyclic gear train. So there are parameters, that is velocity ratio of epicyclic gear train, which should be discussed in case of epicyclic gear train. So the velocity ratio for epicyclic gear train may be calculated by two methods, that is tabular method and algebraic method. So here we discuss about the tabular method. So this is the tabular method. If we take about the example of epicyclic gear train, that is this is epicyclic gear train. So if we take about example of this, then these are the some steps which are followed in tabular method for calculating velocity ratio of the epicyclic gear train. If see the step number 1, that is condition of motion. Arm is fixed and gear A rotates through plus 1 revolution, that is 1 revolution anti-clockwise. So the motion of arm C is 0 because arm is fixed and gives plus 1 revolution to the gear A. So if we calculate the motion of gear B, that is minus T upon TV, because gear A rotate in anti-clockwise direction, so definitely gear B rotate in opposite direction, so minus sign, so that. And step number 2, that is arm is fixed, gear A rotates plus X revolution in anti-clockwise direction. So arms motion of arm C is 0. For gear A, the motion is plus X, and for gear B, that is minus X T upon TV. After that, step number 3 is add plus Y revolution to all elements, plus Y for arm C, plus Y for gear A, and plus Y for gear B. After that, we explain step number 4, that is total motion. So if we add step 2 and step 3, that is plus Y. In case of gear A, X plus Y, and in case of gear B, that is Y minus X TA upon TV. So putting all these conditions, we can calculate the velocity for epicyclic gear train. Thank you.